ourselves. Clan the coach, man. We got to prep ourselves. What do you mean, Clan? Well, I'm going to tell you, fellow chatter. This says Mitch Johnson on Spurs' effort and competitiveness against the Lakers. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get myself ready. I need a break. I need a quick break. So big shout out to today's sponsor. That's our break. Thank you, Sleeper, so much. This is our break. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports at all, please go download Sleeper. The link is in my description box. And when you download it and you use my promo code CLAN, as you can see right there, CLAN, you'll get 100% match up to $100. So go check that out. It's really great. And also, there's also a social media portion of it as well. So if you guys are interested in the social media portion, that shows a bunch of highlights, stats, injury reports, updates, breaking news, all that good stuff. So you can keep up with the NBA. That's a great use of it as well. And then if you do the daily fantasy sports section, then it's all in one place, right? So you can kind of see what's going on, and then you can make your picks from there if that's something you're interested in. Okay, no pressure. But yeah, go check that out. Sleeper, thank you for sponsoring this segment. And God, I needed that break, so thank you for that. Okay, what should I say? So before I play this, were the Spurs competitive tonight? I guess. We were competitive, but I needed our coaching staff to be competitive as well, because holding on to timeouts as long as we did was kind of weird. Ending off the game with having two players on the court that can't shoot, you're down by 2, and you're basically electing to go for a layup, and then you even have Olynyk inbound the ball to really just hone in the fact that we're not going to shoot a 3. We're not going to shoot anything. We're going to go for a layup. So that's what they were trying to go for at the end of the game, to take it to overtime. Don't understand that whatsoever, because you're missing everybody. You're missing Sohan because he fouled out. You're missing Wemby because he fouled out. You're missing Harrison Barnes because he fouled out. Why not at the end of the game just put in Jordan McLaughlin? I can never say it, y'all. Or put in Lindy Waters. Both. That would have been actually pretty nice. And maybe you keep Keldon in the game. I don't know. Just use him as a smoke screen for a layup. But what you actually are doing is going for a 3, right? And if the 3 isn't there, then, hey, they have to hone in. They have to hone in to their guys. But no. The Spurs elected to have Steph Castle out there at the end of the game with 1.2 seconds on the clock, and there's no reason we should take this to overtime. But have him in the game when he's like 20% for the game, 20%. I don't know what we're doing. Very strange thing to do at the end. And then the entire game, I'm just going in. You guys, I actually really love Mitch Johnson. I like him a lot. I think Mitch Johnson is a good coach. Okay, I'm not taking that away from him. But this was a mishap. I thought this was a mishap coaching wise. I'm not a coach. He's a better coach. He's a better coach than all of us combined, right? Like we're not in the NBA, right? We're not in the NBA. So, but there was a few things I saw that bothered me. Another thing too is it felt like with Wembanyama getting the ball, it was constantly like the same thing over and over. We didn't change up sets to make sure Wemby gets the ball a little bit more easier, or Wemby didn't, and I feel like the coaching staff might not even emphasize it. Wemby didn't adjust his shot selection either. He didn't. He lowered his shoulder continuously. Whereas, like, what are we doing? As soon as you see Marcus Smart on Wembanyama, we should pass out, change up the set, do the set, start the set over. Another thing I didn't mention in our other segment as well was Luka Doncic. I think Luka had like 4 fouls at one point. We didn't attack him. We had Keldon Johnson on the court. We didn't attack him, Mitch Johnson. Why didn't we attack him? Hold on, let me make sure. Am I tripping? Yeah, you end up having 5 by the end of the game. Yeah, so at one point when Luka Doncic had like 4 fouls, we didn't attack him. We didn't switch to make sure that we can attack Luka Doncic. We didn't make sure that he was going to be on certain offensive players. And that's what you should have done right there. Attack him. Luka Doncic is not a good defender. Attack him. Get him out of the game. He had 35 points, 13 assists, 5 steals. He's not even a good defender. But he had 5 steals tonight. 2 blocks? He's killing us. Attack him. He has 4 fouls. There was no emphasis on that. The Spurs didn't have an emphasis on attacking Luka. But anyways, the team did show effort. Just wish the coaching staff showed a little bit more effort. Yeah, Keldon would have drew a foul easily. Yeah.
I thought the effort and competitiveness was great. I think the attention and detail in some of the decision making and discipline needs to improve. I thought at the end they actually were a little bit more locked in, I guess, but we still had some real punishable miscues that really put us in a bind there that didn't make them earn some points. We put them on the foul line.
By the way, this isn't all on. Music is a little bit loud, Clan. Oh, my bad. Hold on. I think their audio is pretty soft too. This, by the way, I probably should say this. This isn't all on Mitch Johnson. I know I just ranted on. This isn't all on the coaching staff. Some things is circumstance, right? Like the way that what the Spurs need right now, okay? Because yes, they played together, a couple years, few years or whatever. Some of the players a little bit longer, but they don't have like immense chemistry on the court yet, right? Like it's not like crazy great chemistry on the court, offensively at least. One thing that they need is they need somebody to be able to handle the ball, facilitate, slow things down when needed, and someone who can play very effective when the pace is at its all-time high. And unfortunately, Steph Castle is not a point guard, and he can't do that. So that's circumstance, right? We don't have Dylan Harper. That's another player that's been really good and been kind of saving us in a couple of these games. So, like, there are things that you're missing, okay? But in a game like this, I did feel like we should have gotten a little bit more creative. But if we had a guy or two, we would have won this. But that was a big thing. Not having a backup center made it feel like last year all over again. And, forcing Sohan to run center again was ridiculous. But, like, there's some things we could have tried, throw it out there, Tried to play Carter Bryant a little bit. I was about to say a little bit more. He didn't play at all, so.
Just breakdowns.
I don't know what the question was, guys.
He'll be fine. We need to get him the ball in better spots. We need to get to our starting spots earlier. He needs to be more demonstrative and demand the ball. When he doesn't, he should yell at everybody in the gym, including his teammates and myself, and he'll be fine. We'll be better.
You talking about Wemby? Hold on, guys. I kind of like that. Hold on, I kind of like that. God, I don't have my Stream Deck, so I can't. My Stream Deck is freaking out right now, so I can't use it. Hold on, I'll do it like this. Wait, isn't it this button? Oh, it's not this button. Wait, is it this button? I thought it was the pause button. I thought I have it set for the pause button. Yeah, I guess I gotta manually click it. Okay, there we go. That was a banger. What he just said.
More demonstrative and demand the ball. When he doesn't, he should yell at everybody in the gym, including his teammates and myself, and he'll be fine. We'll be better.
How would you see him navigating pressure?
So he's saying Wemby got to be more aggressive, which is true. I'll be honest with you guys. So Sohan is a player. Of course, like Clayton talks about one thing, and now he's on Sohan. Sohan is a player where he doesn't say much, right? He doesn't say much. He lets his game talk, but he does very slick things throughout a game to really piss you off. And next thing you know, there's a huge fight on the court, and you're like, what just happened? Well, it's because he's been picking on them all game. So Sohan is like one of those type of players. Like, he's going to pick at you, right? A very good player at that. And Wemby, I don't think Wemby verbalizes things enough. right? Like I just don't think I feel like when in my opinion, I know he said he doesn't like to play politics. He should be in a ref. Man, he should be on refs like crazy. He should be really irritated with them. I'm getting tired of seeing my man get 4 fouls and he's just like, well, I got 4 fouls. What are you talking about? Go talk to the ref. You're Wemby. You know? I mean, look. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this, but like, I mean, look at Luka Doncic. Look how he communicated with the refs. He was constantly complaining, like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Right? Look at LeBron and how he goes about it. But if you want to keep it within family, look at Manu. Manu would constantly talk to refs. Timmy too. Like, you have to. I don't know. You said he did talk to them, just not animated. You should have got a little animated. Game like this, make the refs look bad. Get a tech. Wemby not generational. You shut your mouth. He's definitely generational.
How did you see him navigating trust through the foul trouble?
I thought he did a good job for the most part as a funky.
That's a lie. Say Spawn says Wemby is generational in terms of talent, but unfortunately Wemby doesn't play angry. He never has. That's the one thing I always disliked about Wemby. I don't agree with that. Wemby does play angry. Well, also just playing angry isn't good enough, right? Wemby is extraordinarily competitive. In these last couple of games, which we've only lost 2, but the last couple of games he has, well, I guess the game before that it was pretty rough too, but the last 2 he's looked a little lost and trying to process what's going on, what's happening to him right now because of the looks that the teams have been giving him, right? And Wemby has really worked on his strength, so it's kind of been last season was a lot of 3-point shooting. This one has been a lot of I'm going to get to the paint. And now he's starting to see some of the challenges when it pertains to him being at that size and him like obviously deserving a lot of double teams and looks, what that actually will look like. So now he has to figure out how can he get to those spots, right? When teams bring, double teams, or how can he facilitate for his teammates? But also it doesn't help when you have a bunch of players on the court that kind of, at least they've been doing it the last couple games, not really moving well enough or getting to the open spots on the court when Wemby does get double teamed to make it easier on him. That's why I love Sohan for this team, and that's why I think Sohan's very important for Wemby, right? But in this game, not having a backup center and Mitch Johnson basically saying, okay, Sohan, you just got to be out there and be our backup center, then that's what happens. You don't really get to see them on the court that much together. But he helps a lot. He will help a lot. So it's not that, I don't think it's that Wemby didn't play angry enough. I mean, even if he was angry in this game, what is that going to do? It seemed like he was, because even in that play where he hit that big shot, right, near the end, in the end of the fourth, and he hit that huge shot, I was like, man, that was beautiful. But before that, if you looked at Wemby, he was very hesitant. Like they had him spooked because he didn't know where the double team was coming from. It's like he was sitting there like, oh, they're not going for a double team. I think we were outcoached, honestly. I think a big part of it, we were outcoached. They gave us a lot of different looks. They had us messed up. They passed the ball better than us too. But hey, you got Luka Doncic.
There was
He's still 21. He's still 21. Yeah, exactly.
a lot of fouls. It was a physical game, so it was hard to get a beat on what some of his fouls. It felt like it was just kind of wrong place, wrong time. Sometimes it felt like people, Marcus Smart, where he launched himself into him. I didn't see it. I don't know where he had challenged it, so I'm not saying it wasn't a foul. But it was just a tough game, but I thought he did well. I thought he showed glimpses again when he had the ball. He was patient. We got to our spots. He got whatever he wanted. Missed a couple shots, made some shots, got some free throws. We didn't deserve to win. There was too many decisions that we made that weren't sharp enough, and too much execution. They had too much slippage, but we'll be better.
Well, that does make me feel. I'm not being condescending. I actually do like him saying that we're gonna be better. I like very what's the word I'm looking for? Like very. This is gonna be really bad vocabulary, but very like for sure terminology. You know what I'm saying? Definite terminology. Like, we're gonna be better. There's no, hey, we got to work on some things. hey, we got to bring it back to the lab. It was straight up, we're going to be better. I like that. I like that.
I thought Jeremy was great. It's great to see him, Kelly, and Lindy. We needed him obviously tonight.
Confident, certain.
His energy, defense,
matter of fact,
awesome. And just good to have guys back.
Would Steph kind of have to step up to a little bit more of facilitation himself?
You hold yourself accountable when you say statements like that.
Or is that something that he's going to have to continue to balance and work on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he had more creation than that. He's been doing it all year. So I think obviously 6 turnovers is too much. And
exactly. Luka is so good. Hero ball works for him. When Wemby hero ball starts working, watch out. Yeah. I think we can say with a lot of certainty, Wemby is not. Well, I guess we can't say with certainty that he won't be he'll be an MVP candidate. But right now, he isn't the best player in the NBA, right? Like defensively, yeah. And when that offense really starts to click and he's able to do that, like you said, that hero ball, and we've seen glimpses of it over the course of the last couple of seasons. We've seen it, him have to do hero ball. But the types of looks that teams are giving him now and how they're playing him, he's really struggling. So, but yeah, we don't have that. We don't have like the Jokic situation or Luka situation. Like these guys get double teamed all the time, you know?
I agree with that. And again, there's times where
Giannis.
And whether we're
Giannis
on
is
a
better
run
too.
or it's a certain point of the game, but some of the turnovers
Yeah, he is raw offensively.
are just inappropriate and unacceptable. We'll have to be better at that.
Oh, I like that. Hold on, guys. Facts.
Some of the turnovers are just inappropriate and unacceptable. We'll have to be better at that. And, all possessions are.
One more time, dog.
Where it's a certain point of the game, but some of the turnovers are just inappropriate and unacceptable. We'll have to be better at that. And, all possessions are created.
There you go.
When you talk
I know
about
you guys wanted that.
his spots, obviously, they're playing physical. They're trying to push him out. They're wanting to catch. Where are the spots that you're trying to get him the ball?
I think it is a game-to-game deal in terms of sometimes where they put their extra bodies and whatnot. But I do think when we have appropriate spacing around him, anywhere, whether that's at the nail, the elbow, the block, off the block, when we have appropriate spacing and we give enough time, sometimes if we don't get there early enough, then we're running up against the clock, and that double can make you a little bit frantic. And I think when we get him the ball in the right spots and he demands the ball, right, as they're being physical, he can't let them push him out. And I think there was a time even at the end of the first half where he dropped his shoulder and there's a foul on them, and that's going to be something he's going to have to continue to do to set a tone, because if they're not going to protect him, he's got to protect himself at some point.
Castle has some terrible passes at the worst times. Very terrible. Very terrible. Very terrible.
I hope so. They're close. Yeah, we're looking forward to bringing guys back.
Mitch, late in the game, seems like Wemby in a pick and roll would be pretty effective, but obviously they stack a lot of bodies behind them. So what's the reason?
Another thing too, this is true. This is okay. So this is definitely a critique of the coaching here. So one thing that just came to mind. This is not what he's talking about, I don't think. But Wemby and Cornette worked really well in the pick and roll. But in this game, in the last game as well, I'm talking about that creativity. Wemby is struggling. It's like we're giving him the ball and just saying, all right, Wemby, make something happen. Double team comes, people don't move well enough in the open space. Wemby is struggling. It's ugly, right? Or Wemby lowers his shoulder. He's like, oh, I got an opening here. Boom, there's a turnover. Boom, there's an offensive foul, right? Like against a team like this, you can't do that. So with all of that going on, another option would be in the pick and roll, the pick and pop. Didn't do a lot of that, right? Didn't do a lot of that. Now, to be fair, Dylan Harper is much better in that. Obviously, not even Dylan Harper's better than that, but De'Aaron Fox is really, really good at that. But shoot, man, I mean, we have one of the best pick and roll finishers of last season, which was Jeremy Sohan. We could have did a little bit of that between Jeremy Sohan and Wemby. Do a little bit of it. And he's literally, I'm not just making that up. I'm just saying, it's not like, oh, here comes Clan again on Sohan. No, Sohan literally was one of the top. Like, he was like right next to Jokic and, what was it, Karl Anthony Towns guys, I think. It was like near the end of the season, closer to the end of the season. And the graphic was, he was like second in the NBA in pick and roll finishes. So, yeah. Yeah. Didn't do a lot of it. So this is a critique of that.
In the game, it seems like Wemby in a pick and roll would be pretty effective, but obviously they stack a lot of bodies behind them. So what's the reason to not go to the pick and roll and put him in the post? And what would you guys
What's the reason not to go to the pick and roll? He might not like this question.
particularly be able to move around more?
Well, it was they were just switching everything and putting bodies in the paint, so there was nowhere to roll. So we just need to get the ball in space, and then at some point they got to make a decision. They're going to guard him one-on-one or put two on him, and then we got to play off him.
He said what?
Bodies in the paint, so there was nowhere to roll. Well, it was they were just switching everything and putting bodies in the paint, so there was nowhere to roll. So we just need to get.
They were switching bodies in the paint, so there was nowhere to roll. I get what he's saying. I don't know. Maybe I just don't know enough. Because I think either a pick and pop or just something. Just do something different. But didn't even attempt a pick and roll. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody that know more than me, please post in the comments. It's all good. I'm willing to learn myself. To me, that doesn't make any sense. There was nowhere to roll because they're switching bodies in the paint. I'm not grasping that. I remember the rest. I not remember. I understand the rest of it though.
The ball in space, and then at some point they got to make a decision. They're going to guard him one-on-one or put two on him, and then we got to play off him.
And the problem right now too, guys, is like ideally it should work, right? They're gonna double Wemby. Other guys can beat you. We have talent, but we don't have enough shooters. We don't have shooters. I mean, they're not shooting, consistent enough. Anyways, he's clueless. I'm not gonna say that. I mean, sure, it makes sense to me. I don't quite understand but whatever. I don't know. Somebody in the comments, we got very smart people over here at this channel. Okay, we're constantly here to learn. If somebody can explain to me, because we're not gonna rewatch this game. I'm just gonna watch Friday. If somebody can explain to me why a pick and roll is not doable in this situation at all, and we shouldn't attempt it at all, please tell me. But I still don't quite understand that. I felt like we didn't do anything but give Wemby the ball and say, figure it out.